Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 18th of February 2018. Original date 2nd of May 1983. The title: Instead of blaming Maya, become powerful and a master creator. Today, out of this whole gathering, Bap Dada is especially looking at the souls who have become embodiments of knowledge and yoga and are constantly stable in the stage of master creators. Each one of you calls yourself knowledgeable and yogi, but you are number-wise in being as knowledgeable as the Father and in being a yogi soul equal to the Father. To be equal to the Father means to remain constantly stable in the position of a master creator. The whole of creation becomes a servant and cooperates in service in front of powerful souls who easily stabilize on the seat of a master creator. A master creator can create whatever type of atmosphere he wants within a second by ordering of his pure thoughts. By ordering his pure thoughts, he can spread whatever type of vibrations he wants to. Whatever power he invokes, that power becomes cooperative. Knowing what a particular soul lacks, such a soul becomes a master bestower of all attainments and is able to give what that soul lacks. Baba saw to what extent you have become such powerful master creators and are constantly and easily seated on your seats. What did Baba see? All are number-wise anyway. However, Baba still saw that those souls who call themselves master creators become confused by even one wasteful thought which they created with their power of thought. They become afraid. The pressure of awareness becomes low, and this is why the heartbeat of zeal and enthusiasm becomes slow. There is a sweating of being disheartened. This happens, does it not? You become distressed in thinking about what to do and how to do it. It is a mistake of just a second. You come down from your position of a master creator. When the position has ended or there is forgetfulness, Maya's army comes to oppose you at that second. Who invokes Maya? You yourself come down from your position. You let go of your seat of position, and then, when Maya sees an empty seat, she makes it her own. Therefore, Maya says, "I'm not to be blamed. It is because you invoke me that I come." Do you understand? Acha, today is the day for meeting. Baba will tell you at some other time what else you do. To all the master creators, the ones easily seated on their seats, to those who are embodiments of the awareness of a child and a master, to those who are constantly full of knowledge and equal to the Father, to such elevated souls, Bap Dada's love, remembrance and namaste. Bap Dada meeting Kumaris. Have you Kumaris made your decision? The time to decide is when you are in your Kumari life. You are so fortunate that you came to the Father at the time of making a decision. If your life had moved a little forward, you would have become a parrot in a cage. So, what do you want to become? A caged parrot or a free bird? A Kumari is a free bird. There is no need for Kumaris to work. Do you want to accumulate a bank balance? If you stay with your worldly father, you will be able to get a couple of chapatis, whereas If you stay with the spiritual family, you won't lack anything. So, why do you go to work? Is it that you are afraid of living at a center? Even if you are told that you have attachment, you experience waves of sorrow. In any case, Kumaris don't live at home. Maintain the intoxication that you are seated on the Father's heart throne. Even the throne of the Golden Age is nothing compared to this throne. Constantly maintain the awareness that you constantly have a crown and a tilak. How could someone leave a very good seat she has been given? If you are going to become something, then become elevated. If yes, then yes. If you are going to die, die at a stroke. This dying is a sweet dying. If your aim is firm, no one can shake you. If your aim is weak, then excuses and situations will come which will create obstructions. Therefore, be constantly determined. Bab-Dada meeting other Kumars. The Father has liberated you from all types of effort. You have been liberated from the efforts of devotion and also from the efforts of the life of a householder. You have become trustees in your householder life, and all efforts have therefore ended. Now that you have received the fruit of devotion, the wandering in devotion, that is, the efforts, have ended. Do you consider yourselves to be those who eat the fruit of devotion? In fact, it is said that knowledge is the fruit of devotion, but you have already found the bestower of knowledge as your fruit of devotion. You have received the fruit of devotion, and so all the complications of sorrow and peacelessness of the household have therefore ended. You have become liberated from both. From being in a life of bondage, you have become souls who are liberated in life. When someone becomes free from bondage, he dances in happiness. You are also souls who are free from bondage, and so you constantly continue to dance in happiness. Simply sing songs and dance in happiness. This is easy, is it not? Constantly remember that you are souls who are liberated in life. All your bondages have finished. You have been liberated from making effort and have developed love. So remain constantly light and fly. You have changed from a worshipper to being worthy of worship, from unhappy to happy, and from a thorn to a flower. There is so much difference. Let no old iron-aged sanskars now remain. If any old sanskar of the old world remains, that would pull you to itself. Therefore, you constantly have a new life and new sanskars. You have an elevated life, and so you need elevated sanskars. The elevated sanskars are to benefit yourself and the world. Have you filled yourselves with such sanskars? If you have any sanskars other than those of benefiting yourself and the world, they create obstacles in this life. Therefore, let all of the old sanskars now end. Always maintain the awareness that you are a spiritual rose. A spiritual rose means one who constantly spreads spiritual fragrance. A physical rose gives its fragrance. It has a beautiful form and colour, and a very good fragrance which attracts everyone to itself. In the same way, all of you are also spiritual roses in your Father's garden. Roses are always offered in worship. spiritual roses are also offered to the Father. To become a server of the yajna is also to offer yourself. To offer yourself doesn't mean that you have to stay in one place. You may live anywhere, but you have to follow Srimad. Let there not be the slightest consciousness of the self mixed in that. You consider yourselves to be such fortunate spiritual fragrant roses. Do you not? Constantly maintain the awareness that you are the spiritual roses of Allah's garden. Have this intoxication all the time. Remain intoxicated and sing songs of praise of the Father's virtues. You will make your fortune with whatever you say with this godly intoxication. Constantly continue to move along while considering yourselves to be victorious Pandavas. The victory of the Pandavas is very well known in every cycle. Although there were only 5, they were victorious. The reason for their victory was that the Father was their companion. Just as the Father is constantly victorious, in the same way, those who belong to the Father are also constantly victorious. Maintain the awareness that you are victorious jewels. This aspect also brings great intoxication and happiness. What do you feel when you hear the story of the Pandavas? That this is your story. Only Arjuna's name was mentioned first for the sake of it. In terms of the world, they were only 5, but they were constantly victorious. Let this awareness always remain fresh. Let your awareness be as clear as though it were a matter of only yesterday. All of you have claimed your fortune while sitting at home, have you not? While sitting at home, you have received such elevated fortune that it will be remembered till the end. You have come to the Father's home. You have come to your own home. You celebrated, you ate, and you played. When you become tired, you go and rest. Here too, you come having done your work and business. As soon as you come here, you become a lotus. You cannot see anyone except the Father. You receive rest. You don't have anything to do apart from meeting the Father, listening to Him and remembering Him. Therefore, your tiredness was removed and you became refreshed, did you not? If someone comes here even for just 2 hours, he becomes refreshed because this is a place for refreshment. To come here means to be refreshed. Acha. At the time of farewell, each child is more loved than the next. Each one has his or her own speciality. Even if someone is the last number, he is still the Father's child. No matter what you children are like, you have still attained the fortune of the renunciation you have had. Therefore, all of you consider yourselves to be loved by the Father. Although it is number-wise, all of you receive love and remembrance, do you not? Bap Dada gives everyone love and remembrance from the depths of his heart. The love from the depths of his heart is the same for each and every one. All of you are the long lost and now found, especially beloved arms of the Father. Therefore, his arms would definitely be loved by him, would they not? Would anyone not have love for his own arms? Even the last number is one of the handful out of multi-millions. So you have become the loved ones out of multi-millions, have you not? Acha? These are the Avyakt elevated versions. Be a jewel of contentment, remain constantly content, and make everyone content. Throughout this year, Bap-Dada wants you children, when you meet anyone, to give them the cooperation of contentment. That you remain content yourself and make others content. The self-respect for this season is to be a jewel of contentment. Therefore, remain constantly stable on the seat of self-respect. At the present time, there is a lot of tension and distress, and because of this, discontentment is increasing. At such a time, all of you jewels of contentment have to make others content with the light of your contentment. First of all, remain content with yourself, then remain content with service, and then with your relationships, for only then will you be called a jewel of contentment. Bap-Dada tells you children to be constant servers. However, if you are disturbed by something called service, and you also disturb others, it is better not to do that type of service, because the special virtue of service is to have contentment. Where there isn't contentment either on yourself or with those in connection with you, then that service will not enable you or others to receive the fruit. Rather than that, it is better to first of all make yourself into a jewel of contentment and then do service. Otherwise, the subtle burden increases, and that burden becomes an obstruction to the flying stage. To remain constantly free from obstacles, to be a constant destroyer of obstacles, to remain constantly content and to make others content, this is a certificate that servers always have to continue to receive. To claim this certificate means to be seated on the heart throne. Always have the aim of remaining content and making others content. Any soul who experiences all attainments would be constantly content. The sign of being happy would always be visible on their faces. When servers are content with themselves and service, there is automatically zeal and enthusiasm for service and cooperation. You don't then have to say anything or have it said by anyone else, because contentment easily brings about zeal and enthusiasm. The special aim of servers should be to remain content and make others content. The more you experience yourself to be filled with all attainments, the more content you will remain. If there is the slightest feeling of something lacking, then that lack will make you discontent. Although this is not your kingdom, and you therefore have to make a little effort, problems here have become like a game. When you have courage, you receive cooperation at the right time. Therefore, together with your contentment, give all souls the cooperation of contentment through your elevated stage. The one who is making everyone act is making everything happen through you. I am just an instrument carrying out the task. To maintain this awareness is the speciality of a server. By doing this, you will remain constantly content in service and in your own efforts, and those for whom you become instruments will also have contentment. To remain constantly content and keep others content is a speciality. Brahmins means those who are sensible. They always remain content with themselves and also keep others happy. If you become discontent because others make you that, then you cannot experience the happiness of the confluence-aged Brahmin life. To become the form of a Shakti and take yourself away from the atmosphere of others means to keep yourself safe. This is the way to attain this aim. Those who do service from their hearts also stay in remembrance. They have to make less effort, and yet they experience contentment to a greater extent. Those who don't have remembrance with love in their hearts, who simply remember Baba on the basis of knowledge, and do service with their heads, have to make greater effort, and they have less contentment. Even if they do have success, there will be little contentment in their hearts. They would constantly think, it would be better if this happens. But still, They would continue to say this, whereas those who do everything from their hearts will constantly keep singing songs of contentment. Contentment is a sign of satisfaction. If you are a dissatisfied soul, whether in terms of hunger of the body or hunger of the mind, then no matter how much you receive, you will always remain dissatisfied. Royal souls remain constantly full with even a little. Where there is fullness, there is contentment. Any service that makes you discontent is not service. Service means service which gives you nourishing fruit. If there is discontentment in your service, then leave that service, but never let go of your contentment. Remain constantly beyond any limited desires and always remain full, and you will become equal. The special blessing of the confluence age is contentment. The seed of this contentment is having all attainments. The seed of discontentment is a lack of physical or subtle attainment. The praise of you Brahmins is, nothing is lacking in the treasure store of you Brahmins or in the life of you Brahmins. So then, why is there discontentment? Since the treasure store of the bestower of blessings is overflowing, and there is such great attainment, why is there discontentment? Those who are jewels of contentment are always content in their minds, in their hearts, with everyone, with the Father, and with the drama. Waves of happiness would always be visible from their minds and their bodies. Even if adverse situations come, if souls who have to settle their karmic accounts with them come in front of them in order to oppose them, if the suffering of karma through their bodies comes in front of them, such souls who are free from limited desires because of contentment would always be seen as sparkling stars of happiness. Contented souls would always experience everyone to be altruistic and innocent, that is, free from blame. They would never blame anyone for anything. They wouldn't blame the bestower of fortune, the drama, or any person or karmic account of their bodies and think, my body is like that anyway. They would always have an altruistic and innocent attitude and vision. The speciality of the confluence age is contentment. This is the special attainment of Brahmin life. If there isn't contentment and happiness, there is no benefit in being a Brahmin. Therefore, remain content and make everyone content. There is real happiness in this, for this is true service. Blessing. May you be a knower of the philosophy of karma, and with the blessing of a divine intellect, keep your register flawless. As soon as you took Brahmin birth, each of your children received the blessing of a divine intellect. Only when there is no influence of any problem, any company or the dictates of your own mind on your divine intellect, only then can your register remain flawless. However, if the divine intellect does not work at the right time, then there is a mark on the register, and this is why it is said that the divine philosophy of karma is very deep. People of the world repent for every action they perform, whereas you children, who are the knowers of the philosophy of karma, never have to repent for your actions. You would say, "Wow, my elevated karma." Slogan. Only with the deep dharana of purity can there be the experience of supersensuous joy. Om Shanti.
Thank you for watching Brahma Kumaris Murli, and you can read Murli Hindi and English, so you can click my description page and click my website, and you can see Dadi Hirday Muni experience, Dadi Janki experience, and Brahma Baba experience, and Brahma Kumaris related any information. So click my website. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.